The first thing I noticed was not that she had a kid with her. It was the way she smiled at the hostess, like she was apologizing for existing. That kind of smile has a weight to it. I recognized it because my mom used to wear it every time she walked into a room full of people she didn't know. A smile that says, "I'll be quick. I promise I won't take up too much space." I almost didn't go that night. I'd been in Calgary for 2 years by then, transferred from Sudbury for work, and the loneliness of a new city had started to feel less like a wound and more like weather. Something you stopped noticing because you had no choice. My apartment was fine. My job at the engineering firm was fine. Fine was the word I used for everything that didn't hurt enough to complain about. Kevin had been my closest friend since university. We'd done everything together. Road trips to Banff, writers' games when we could get tickets, the kind of friendship where you don't talk for 3 weeks and pick up exactly where you left off. He'd moved to Calgary a year before I did, which was partly why I'd taken the transfer. I thought having him there would make the city feel smaller, and it did for a while. He texted me on a Thursday. "Double date Saturday. You're coming. No arguments." I sent back, "I'm working Saturday." He sent, "You work every Saturday. That's the problem." I stared at the message for a while. He wasn't wrong. The plan was a place called the Nash on Edmonton Trail, the kind of restaurant that's nice without trying to announce it. Good wine, good lighting, the sort of place where a conversation can actually go somewhere if you let it. I got there first. I'm always early. I ordered water and read the menu twice, and checked my phone and read the menu a third time. Kevin arrived with his girlfriend Shannon at 7 on the dot. Shannon was warm and easy to talk to, the kind of person who made strangers feel like they'd known her for years. She kissed my cheek and told me I needed a haircut. I said I knew. "She's parking," Kevin said. "Who is?" He did something with his face. Not quite a smile, not quite a wince. Something in between that I didn't have a word for yet. "Her name's Tara," Shannon said, quickly. "She's lovely. You'll like her." "Okay, she might be a little," Shannon started. "She's great," Kevin said. "You'll see." Tara arrived 4 minutes later. She was holding a small boy's hand. He looked about 5, maybe 6, with the kind of dark, serious eyes that children have when they've had to learn patience before their time. He was wearing a jacket that was slightly too big for him, the sleeves rolled up twice at the cuff. Tara herself was probably 30, dark hair pulled back. She was dressed nicely, a burgundy blouse, dark jeans, and she moved through the restaurant the way someone moves when they're very aware that people are watching them. Not self-conscious, exactly. More like practiced. I looked at Kevin. Kevin looked at the ceiling. Shannon touched my arm briefly, like a warning. I stood up. "Hi," I said. "I'm Scott." Tara looked at me with an expression I can only describe as braced, like she was waiting for the punchline. "Tara," she said. "And this is Miles." The boy looked up at me. "Hi." "Hey, Miles. Cool jacket." He looked down at his sleeves. "It's my dad's," he said. Then he climbed into the chair beside me like it was perfectly natural, picked up the kids' menu the hostess had already left there, and started reading it with the focused energy of someone doing important work. I sat back down. Kevin was already talking to Shannon about something, the drive over, traffic on Deerfoot, anything. I could hear the performance in his voice. He was waiting to see what I would do. Here's what I did. I asked Tara if she'd been to the Nash before. She blinked, like the question had surprised her. "Once, the duck was good. I was going to order the duck. You should." Miles looked up from his menu. "Can I get a grilled cheese? They have one?" Tara said. "They have one," I said. I'd read the menu 3 times, and it comes with fries. Miles looked at me with sudden, complete approval. "Okay," he said, and went back to his menu. Tara watched this exchange. Something in her face shifted, very slightly, like a window opening a centimeter. She picked up her own menu. Kevin excused himself to use the washroom. Shannon followed a minute later, which was not subtle. We both noticed. Tara looked at her water glass. "You don't have to do this," she said quietly. "Do what? Be nice. I know what this is." I put my menu down. "What is it?" She glanced toward where Kevin had disappeared. "A joke," she said. It wasn't bitter, exactly. It was just a fact she'd already made peace with. Kevin thinks he's funny, or maybe he thought it would be a story to tell later. Either way. She shrugged. "Miles, and I can go. I've got a sitter I can call." "You brought a sitter?" I left her at my place. "In case." She said it plainly, like it was obvious. Of course she'd planned an exit. Of course she'd built in the assumption that this would go badly. I thought about that for a second. about what it meant to go somewhere already holding your escape route in your hand. The duck is supposed to be really good, I said. She looked at me. And Miles wants grilled cheese, I said. It comes with fries. It would be a shame. Tara studied me for a moment with the focused, careful attention of someone who'd learned not to trust things that looked like kindness. Then, slowly, she set her menu back down on the table. Okay, she said. Kevin came back looking like a man walking into a room where he wasn't sure if there'd been an explosion yet. Shannon slid into her seat with practiced innocence. I caught Kevin's eye and gave him nothing. He looked away first. The dinner was good. Not in a movie way, no speeches, no dramatic reversals. Good in the way that actual evenings are good, quietly and incrementally. Miles ate his grilled cheese with the solemnity of a small person taking something seriously. He told me about his school, a French immersion program in Ramsey, and the fact that his teacher had a gecko named Gerald that lived in a tank by the window. Does Gerald like school? I asked. Miles considered this. I think he's mostly asleep, he said. But sometimes he looks at us. That might be his way of paying attention. Maybe, Miles said, clearly not convinced. Tara talked about her work. She was a physiotherapist with a clinic near Inglewood, and the fact that she'd grown up in Red Deer before moving to Calgary for school and just never leaving. She spoke carefully at first, measuring her words, and then less carefully as the evening went on. She had a dry sense of humor that came out in small doses, like she'd learned to ration it. When she laughed, really laughed, it was sudden and genuine and a little surprised, like she'd caught herself off guard. Shannon was watching us with the careful attention of someone taking notes. Kevin had gone quiet in a way that I recognized. He was recalibrating. He'd expected something else from this evening and was slowly coming to terms with the fact that he wasn't going to get it. Around 9, Miles started to fade. He didn't fuss about it. He just leaned against Tara's arm and closed his eyes with the total surrender of a child who's done everything he needed to do today and has simply run out of fuel. Tara looked down at him. Something in her face went soft. She moved her arm slightly so his head was better supported. I noticed Kevin watching that moment, and I noticed something in Kevin's expression that I didn't have a name for yet, but that felt, in a small and significant way, like recognition. We split the bill. I got Miles's grilled cheese and Tara's dinner. She started to argue about it, and I said, "You can get the next one," and then stopped, because I hadn't meant to imply there would be a next one, and she stopped, because she wasn't sure what to do with the idea either. Miles was mostly asleep by the time we got outside. Tara lifted him with the practiced efficiency of someone who'd done it 10,000 times. He didn't wake up. Kevin and Shannon said their goodbyes. Shannon hugged Tara for a beat longer than necessary, and Kevin shook my hand and looked like he wanted to say something and then decided against it. They walked to Kevin's truck and the parking lot got quieter. I helped Tara get Miles into his car seat. He stirred briefly, said something in French, probably something from school, and then was gone again. "Thank you," Tara said when I straightened up. We were standing in the parking lot with the October wind coming in from the west the way it does in Calgary, abrupt and businesslike. For what? For just. She stopped. Tried again. For treating him like a person. Some guys don't know what to do with kids. They sort of go blank. "He's good company," I said, and I meant it. She nodded. There was a pause that wasn't awkward exactly. Just unresolved. "The duck was good," I said. "I told you," she said. I laughed. She smiled. Not the apologetic smile from earlier. A different one, smaller, more specific, like it was meant only for this moment. She drove away first. I stood in the parking lot for a moment before getting in my car. I called Kevin the next morning. "So," he said, in a voice designed to sound casual, "what were you thinking?" A long pause. "Honestly? Yeah, I thought it'd be funny," he said. "You've been so, I don't know, closed off. I thought if I told you about Miles, you'd back out, and I thought maybe the awkwardness would, I don't know, loosen something up." Another pause. "It was stupid." "Yeah," I said. "It was? Is she? Did you get her number?" I hadn't. I thought about that for the rest of the day. I ran into Tara 3 weeks later. Not a setup, not a coincidence engineered by Shannon, though I didn't rule that out at first. I was at the farmer's market at Curry Barracks on a Sunday morning, buying coffee and not having anywhere to be, which is a feeling I'd learned to tolerate in my 2 years in Calgary. She was at a fruit stand with Miles. He was arguing, in the serious way he had, that they should buy the purple carrots because they were more interesting than the orange ones. They taste the same, Tara said. We don't know that, Miles said. She looked up and saw me, and for a moment neither of us moved. Then Miles saw me. You're the grilled cheese guy, he said. I am, I said. He seemed satisfied by this and held up a purple carrot. We're getting these. They're more interesting. Can't argue with that, I said. Tara bought the purple carrots. I walked with them to the next stall, and then the next, in the way that happens when no one has made a decision, but everyone has agreed to it anyway. We had coffee from one of the trucks. Miles got a hot chocolate so enormous he had to hold it with both hands. We sat on a bench while he drank it with the dedication of someone completing a mission. I'm sorry I didn't get your number, I said. Tara looked at her coffee cup. You didn't have to. She was quiet for a moment. It's complicated, she said finally. Not a brush off. A fact. I know Miles's dad isn't. He's not in the picture. By his own choice. But Miles still asks about him sometimes, and I never know what to say, and that's before you get to the part where she stopped. It's just a lot to take on. I'm not trying to take anything on, I said. I like talking to you. I like Miles. I wanted to buy you another dinner. She looked at me then. That careful measuring look. Just dinner, she said. For now, I said. And then, because honesty seemed better than strategy, but probably not just dinner eventually. Miles had finished his hot chocolate and was examining the empty cup like it had done something impressive. Okay, Tara said, quietly. Like, it cost her something, and she decided it was worth it. We traded numbers in the parking lot while Miles ran in circles around a concrete pillar, apparently for the joy of it. I texted her that evening. The purple carrots were right. She texted back 20 minutes later. Miles says you have good taste. I put my phone down and looked at my apartment, the fine apartment in the fine city, with the fine life that had been fine and nothing else, and for the first time in longer than I could remember, fine didn't feel like enough. Fine felt like a waiting room, and I just decided to leave it. I called Kevin that night. I got her number, I said, a pause. Then, yeah. So I'm forgiven? I thought about the parking lot, the October wind, the way Tara had looked when Miles called me the grilled cheese guy, like something had caught her off guard. Not for what you did, I said, but maybe for how it turned out. Kevin was quiet for a second. I'll take it, he said. I've thought about that dinner a lot since then, about the way things can begin sideways, through the wrong door for the wrong reasons, and still end up somewhere real. Kevin set up a joke and forgot that jokes sometimes have a punch that nobody sees coming. I wasn't looking for anything when I walked into the Nash that night. I was just a guy in a new city who'd learned to make peace with fine. And then Miles told me they had grilled cheese with fries, and Tara smiled like she'd surprised herself, and the city got a little smaller in the best possible way.